Hey, what's up, traders? It is Tuesday, April 18th, 8:41 a.m. Here are your morning ideas. Okay, so we're trading 41.96. We're just above that 41.75 area that we've been talking about, and I talked about this yesterday on our group call in the community about how this 41.75, even though we were pulling back, it looked as if we wanted to push higher into that 41.75. And some people will see this as weakness. If I'm looking here at the left panel, we'll look at this as weakness because we can't break through. I actually look at it as strength. The more we keep running into an area, the weaker the area becomes, and the more likely we are to push through. There's a lot of negative news about banks right now, and it is earnings season. I think Goldman reports this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Goldman Sachs earnings. I believe it's at 9:30. Okay, so Q1 for Goldman's at 9:30 this morning. So just know that it's earnings season. If you start to see some really crazy reactions in the price, it's probably one of the bank earnings, because that's what's in vogue right now. About the market has shifted towards this because there is some vulnerabilities there if the banks, if more of these banks start to tumble. I don't think that Goldman would be one of them. Schwab reported yesterday nothing really happened, and they were one of the ones kind of under the gun that were potentially had some, too leveraged in their loan book or whatever. So we got through that one okay. The market is higher. If we look at the overnight session, we can see that it's really been just kind of trend up. We've been, pushing standard deviation 2 all day. We haven't even been below standard deviation 1 and not even close to the VWAP since, 2 o'clock in the morning. We've just been pushing higher. I'm looking at big picture at 4250 being the next area here, the next big area. You can see here that's really where the volume cuts off. We've been talking about 4250 for quite some time, because if we do break, I think it'll be a pretty swift move because there'll be a lot of stops here. Remember how stops work, and they're really just buy orders sitting here. A stop loss will just be a buy order. So if you're playing this range here, there's a lot of, I could, copy and paste these. There's a bunch of stops sitting in the same spot, right? So those are buy orders, and it pushes the market higher if we can get up here and grab some of those stop orders. Now, the same thing goes on the other side. That's why you see when we come out of a balance area, we get these really big flushes. So what you'll see in the price is the normal behavior is a push, hit a bunch of stops. It'll go pretty quick and pretty far, and then from there we'll pull back and test the top of the area before we move on, or we fail back into the range and we start working back towards VPOC, and then we go to the other side, flush out the other side, do the same thing, and this leaves you with these nice balanced bell-shaped curves where the majority of the time is spent in the middle, and then we don't trade very much on the edges. And that's what this is looking like to me. So I'm looking like big picture 4250 is the next area. It's only 50 points away. We can absolutely get there today, although you can see that if you look at this bottom panel here, I'll make this bigger. The bottom panel here is the average true range for the 20-day average. You can see that it's come down quite a bit. We're trading 50, like the average true range right now is about 58 points over the last 20 days. It was in March of last year, okay, all the way up to 110 points. So double what it is today. You can see that, the volatility was high and the volatility is kind of contracting. This is scary because when we get these periods of contraction, we go from, periods of contraction to periods of great volatility, right? Great volatility. We see it here. So do we come down a little bit more? Usually in the summer, we contract a little bit and we go slow as the fat cats take their vacations. But we're coming out of a pretty long balance area. You can see that since we've been in this balance, you can see that the average true range has been shrinking all the time. We've had some small periods it's gone up, but we've been coming down quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised on the breakout to see the volatility really spike, or if something happens in the bank stocks, the volatility really spikes. So keep that in mind. 4250 is an area to look for. 4175 is basically would put us back into the range. It's also an area to look at. So that's what I'm looking at this morning. So you know, I don't like to buy breakouts. I'd rather see this thing go and pull back and try to get on it there. But you know, you've got to make your own trading plan. All right. I'm going to make a video right after this about week 2 in the meme challenge, where we're giving away free pro accounts, 50% off. So look for that, and we'll talk to you guys soon.